Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Rhovanion campaign. We are setting up for the battle that we ended on with the last episode, and I'm noticing here that the terrain is kind of unfavorable. It's not too bad, but it does slope slightly downhill, and the AI is going to be setting up right about here, so they will have a bit of a height advantage, which is a little annoying. So I think what we're going to have to do is set up over here. I really don't want to fight in the woods, although we could probably handle it. But I'm going to want a more balanced army if we end up doing that, with a bit more consistency, I guess, in terms of our archers and a bit more infantry presence, I think, too. Because if you're fighting in the woods, what you're really doing is setting up the possibility that you're going to be getting into melee. So you can't you can't just let your guys babysit themselves. You really have to be on top of them. And if you're not going to be on top of them, because you might be really, really busy with managing your cavalry, for example, then you kind of have to hope that they're going to be okay on their own. And we don't have a strong enough melee presence, in my opinion. So I don't want to just let them hang out over there. We're going to be kind of like this. We'll turn them a little bit to face the approaching enemy. Now, I don't think they have any ranged things here, if I remember correctly. No, they do. It looks like they've got, what is it, 1 archer unit. And they've got their chieftain's guard, and they've got like 5 axemen. So the Rhovanion spearmen is my only melee unit, and I'm kind of keeping them out in the middle with the idea that maybe the AI general is going to rush our ranged line. Okay, so they are shooting at us. Really not too concerned about that. Let's get our cav in position to do some flanking. And yeah, let's get the march wardens over there too. Okay, we're actually going to retreat with our spears, because I don't want them to get caught in the melee, but they probably will. So we're now chasing the Chieftain's Guard with our March Wardens and Rhovanion Nobles. Of course, he is approaching our Rhovanion Foresters. I'm not really that worried about that. Let's hit those Easterling Warband. I think we'll be able to catch them. Yeah, that should be good. They should rout them. Okay, so we've caught the enemy general. He's broken. Really would like to catch him, and that's the disadvantage of taking March Wardens, because they are a little slower. Okay, we did catch him up, though. Good. But those March Wardens are a bit slower than your scouts. So there's a bit of a, a give and take with the units. Even with a faction that's so, well, Rhovanion does have options. I mean, that's the thing. It's a pretty bare bones faction in some ways with regard to its unit roster. But even there, you do have to make some decisions. Like, who do I want to hit, this unit with? Well, right now I'm thinking I want to hit it with my March Wardens because those guys are going to be tougher. But if I really, really need to catch and kill a cavalry unit, then I'm going to be wanting my scouts because they're going to be able to eliminate it. Here, I don't know if we've taken any losses with these March Wardens, so I think the charge with the scouts will break this unit. Very good. And I'd really like to keep my spearmen around. So what I should do is get my cav over there. These guys have just been beaten up. Just from ranged stuff, yeah, so they're just going to break. Okay, the March Wardens can deal with that. Get my general a bit closer to throw javelins. Actually, these are slingers who still have ammo, so I don't need to run them down. Yeah, and we're shooting at them from all over the place. All right, those axemen are shaken. We're throwing javelins. They're getting hit from a bunch of different sides. They're wavering. Let's throw in. Let's do the trick where we do the horn call. So our general is not going to be the first one into the charge. All right, very good. And I think we'll just use this to chase down those axemen, and we'll go down towards the axemen of Rhun over here. March Wardens can deal with them too. Very nice. And we're just counting on the auto skirmish of our various ranged units and their speed to keep them away from the enemy melee stuff. It's not too bad. They're already shaken. All right. Did take a loss there in the charge. It's kind of inevitable, you know, it's very rare that you're going to just get a totally clean casualty-free charge, but you really do miss all of them, basically. I lost another one somehow, maybe friendly fire? Usually you don't see losses when you're just chasing routers down. Okay, so that is the end of that. We lost about 48 men. Okay. Not too bad. That was the AI's turn. Let's see if they have anything else prepared for us. Because that was a pretty small force. And we are in the heart, or approaching the heart, of Rhun's territory. Alright, a marriage celebration. Very nice. And we are bringing these guys around for retraining. Okay, and I don't see the force that was outside the city here. I am inclined to let Rhun hold on to this for a little while longer in the hopes that maybe they'll get a wall. I think it's quite a ways away. But if they don't train a bunch of guys out of there, if they instead build it up a bit, that would be nice. All right, let's see what our income looks like. Okay, just over 3,000. So that's not too bad. 5 more seasons for Eastern Wilderland. And I want to get this guy in sight of Tham. Okay, so this is the big prize. This is the kind of the ultimate goal for our Rhun campaign. If I get Tham, I'm going to feel really good about life because this has the high timber wall. These cannot be battered down with rams, and they can't accept ladders either, I don't believe. So what the AI has to do is use rams at the 4 gates, and that's it. Siege towers are not used here. It's a very idiosyncratic wall. I like it because it's I don't know, it just feels like a wild kind of barbaric. We threw together a bunch of logs, but you can't get a ladder on here, and siege towers don't work because it's slanted in kind of crazy angles and things. So in any case, this is a really good defensive structure, and this is already built in Tham from the beginning of the campaign. I don't think we get that in Rhovanion, our capital. I think we get something like the wooden walls. These can be battered down with rams, you know, at the gates, of course, but also at the walls themselves. So that's kind of a step down. But Tham, nice walls, going to be a lot of population here, I would imagine, because the Easterlings get a lot of population bonuses, and they're going to be building a lot here too, so they're going to have some nice infrastructure that we can tear down. It's a chief city, of course, as indicated by that blue banner right there, and this means we can build up, in terms of military and in terms of finances with no restrictions. We're also going to probably get some good units out of here. Well, we could actually get the same unit from here, I think. Those are the axemen that we looked at in the first episode of the campaign. There's a copy of Rhun's native axemen of Rhun that we get as Rhovanion if we conquer territory in Rhun. And that doesn't just mean Tham. That could be Erebos. But I think it's going to require that we get up to the highest level of military development, which is going to require a military policy. The problem with Erebos is I may want it to be financial because it's got access to the Sea of Rhun. It could be a nice lucrative trading area. And so we might want the highest tier of markets there. This is also going to be a relatively safe place once we do manage to conquer it, assuming we do. So I'm thinking this is going to be where I train stuff, but we'll see how it unfolds. So first things first, I'm not seeing a big presence around here. Let's get up this way. There is another settlement up here, just out of our sight, right along the coast. And there's another settlement up here, and so Rhun can do a lot of trading, or training, rather. They may also have conquered... Oh, no, they didn't. Okay, interesting. This was held at one time by North Rhun, but then they lost it. And so I'm wondering if Rhovanion took it earlier. Because if Rhun took it, well, it would be showing as not held by rebels. But if Rhun took it, it wouldn't rebel. If North Rhun took it, as they did at one point, it wouldn't rebel. I can't imagine. Unless there was a rebel army outside and reconquered it, maybe? But I'm thinking maybe the more likely explanation is that Rhovanion took it, but because it's so far from their capital, its alien, unfriendly population over here, that it revolted, which is, good news. North Rhun is still holding on to Yar Helkar, and not under siege anywhere as far as I can tell. So there's a nice kind of static Cold War going on up here. I just hope Rhovanion doesn't use this opportunity to attack me. Okay, so having seen all we can see over there, I guess I'll continue moving in this direction, and we will put Erebos under siege. Now, that army could be coming to get me. I don't have any emissaries around. What would happen if I went straight for Tham? Well, probably some bad things. I don't have the greatest army, which I feel like I'm saying continuously. And so I think it might be better to put Erebos under siege. Let's get some rams built, and then we can assault this next turn if the AI will let us. All right. Otherwise, in terms of building, we do have the money to do it. Here we've got our new governor, Hornbod, who just got married, which is great. He's an expert governor. He's not yet the Lord of Rhovanos, so we will let him grow into that role. Looks like we finished training some March Wardens, and we did finish training some Rhovanion scouts. So I will continue to just send armies down that way in dribs and drabs. Okay, we've got our 2 March Wardens that we set inside the city here to avoid Dwarven bribery. And I'm not seeing that Dwarven emissary. Emissaries do have a very large movement allowance, though, so he could be somewhere in the fog of war. But I think I'm going to risk it and send them up. And we'll keep moving along with these troops. We want to get them up to Dale. One of these guys, okay, they're not governing yet. So that could be a good thing. All right, now here we've got our 2 scouts. So we're going to decide which one to keep and which one to move off somewhere else. Scouts, after a while, will gain a trait that gives them better subterfuge skill. If they remain in a settlement for a few turns, they're going to get the something like local I can't remember what it is, but it's something that that indicates that they are familiar with the local population, and so they are just better able to keep tabs on things. Okay, so we found an army here. Had an army here. I don't know what this settlement can build, but I'm thinking there's a governor inside because, or a spy. Okay, there's another little army. Yeah, there's a governor there. So they're training low-level stuff, which is not a surprise. And over here they get a few more things. We could maybe take Hjorth, the way they've got these little armies posted around. So let's give that a shot. We'll get our other scout going over here. And I want to make sure that there's not a big army coming. Alright, but let's get these guys. We will leave. I think I'll leave the Rhovanion Axemen, and I will leave these Rhovanion scouts just temporarily. Alright, and I'll have to decide, okay, who else do I want to leave? That is 70, but even so, maybe this 36 would tip it over into blue. Yes, it would. Okay, so I think we're safe to attack this unit. Okay, and they're just going to go back. Well, we can hope for an ambush, although if we are attacked here, you know, that I guess that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, depending on the terrain, of course. And we can also theoretically fall back. All right. So in terms of our other building projects, 4 seasons left for that, and 5 for this. Elsewhere, we're kind of just waiting. Let's see if he has any good traits that are going to be decreasing construction costs. Yeah, he's got some. He's got a 10% discount already. He's an expert governor. That gives him 5% off. And he's frugal. It's another 5% off. All right, he's dubious. That's not hurting construction costs. And somewhat learned. That could improve, I think. That doesn't give him any bonuses or penalties. But yeah, let's actually queue up some building here. Maybe. We're 3,500. And so notice we made money by taking guys out of the settlement. Taking those bad generals out. Maybe I don't, actually. Because this is kind of expensive. One thing we could go with is the herbalist. And since our population is, you know, getting low-ish, might not be a bad idea. This is going to cost us money. It's going to cost us 72 in land tax, which is not too bad. It's also going to save us, you know, a few million in terms of mismanagement, but it is going to increase population growth, and at higher levels, it is going to increase the likelihood that we're going to get some good ancillaries from this building. As it says down here, as a repository of knowledge, this may be a place to find wise individuals to serve in a lord's retinue. So that may have some effect, and I think the effect goes up at tier 2. So this is, you know, more of a long-range investment. But yeah, let's see what the AI is going to do. I forgot to move that. Emissary. We were just getting him down around Thrimfeld to keep an eye on things. And so far, so good. I have not planned mentally for what I'm going to do if and when Rohan takes Thrimfeld. As you can see, I just do not have the military presence in the north or in the south nearby to deal with that. Okay, so we weren't attacked, actually. Okay, he got his lordship, Hornbod here, the Lord Governor of Rhovanost. Awesome. Okay, we got a spy in Esgaroth, and there's probably another spy in Dale itself. But we've got these Barding militia levies. They're going to help with garrison stuff. I notice we didn't get attacked over here. So I'm going to get the other... Let's just look around. Okay, so there is an enemy army right there. We could do a call them out kind of thing. It's a big army, though. If this were a little bit smaller, I'd feel a lot better about it. And it's going to be a fight in the woods. So, you know, I'm going to wait. I'm going to put these guys down here where we can be in position for an ambush. And I'm going to bring the scouts that I just trained. And I'm going to move up the March Wardens and hope they don't get bribed on the way. Once I have these guys up here, I'll feel a bit better about moving on Hjorth. Alright, so we made 577. We're eking up towards 10,000 and making over 3,000 a turn still. Okay, here we were retraining some scouts, and yeah, let's go with another unit of scouts, I think. And you were coming down to join. Kind of keep you in the woods there. Okay, so because we weren't attacked, we can assault now, and I do want to do this assault because this is it's a small enough force. I don't know what this other unit is, but whatever it is, we've got enough archers and, you know, slingers and some ranged stuff that we can deal with the axemen. And even if this is something like you know, Spearmen of Rhun, like a unit that I really don't want to fight that has good armor, I think that's about as bad as it could possibly be. And if that's the case, I still think we can shoot it and kill it. We can deal with this guy too. So we're going to go ahead and assault that. I just want to check the public order here, though, because yeah, we're still red, and that's a little concerning. We're kind of red up here too. What's our capital again? This is Arab Gobel. It's about as middle as it can be. Well, I guess that's that. I think instead of those scouts, how about this? We're going to retrain scouts anyway, but I would like another unit in Nerigzagil because all I've got literally is the governor there. So we're going to train something that we can just send right over, and something that would be good to defend a dwarven settlement. And so that's going to be Rhovanion foresters. You know, it's an 80-man hit on the population, but I think it's going to be worthwhile. Okay, so I think what we'll do here is we will plan to fight this battle. Do I want to do it? I think I want to do it off camera. Maybe, I mean, let's do this. Let's just queue up the fight, see what it is. And if it's anything at all interesting, we'll fight it on camera. Otherwise, yeah, just 2 axemen. I'm gonna spare you guys this. We'll go ahead and I think I'll end the episode here. We'll go ahead and fight this off camera because it's just going to be an extremely straightforward settlement fight. And then when we come back, hopefully we will have Erebos under our belt. If it looks like disaster, of course, I'll start recording and show you what's happening. But I imagine we'll have Erebos at the beginning of the next episode here, and then we will be able to, you know, then we will have to decide where we're going to go next. We've got bad line of sight down here, so there could be a big full stack bearing down on us, but we'll see how that works out. So thank you very much for joining me in this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care.